We are live once again. We back in the building. We back in the building. It's Big Game James, my dog Mike White. You know what it is. It's Burgers and Blitzes, CeeDee Lamb edition, old ass Dalvin Cook edition, 53-man
It,
roster edition. Y'all can go to hell by Cut My Dog Woods edition.
I wanted to do it publicly. Let me
What
do the
happened? Did
first
you
one to do it
freeze?
publicly.
See,
No, I'm right here, but that's you. I'm telling you,
there we
something
go.
going on with your shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
You got too many people on your internet, brother. Oh,
Now, how's it just going to freeze now? Let me see. How's it just going to now?
so I'll let you talk. I'm going to talk while you go through it. Now
I'm good
I'll
now.
let the chat. All right, cool. So, uh, condolences to your boy. You know, I thought there was other people we could have cut, including the running back we signed today. uh, you
Matt,
know,
well, let's go.
Well, I mean, why are we carrying, 5 or 6 tight ends? What?
Mm,
And I'm gonna be. I want to. Here's something I do want to talk about, and
mm-hmm.
I haven't tweeted about it because I'm pulling for the kid and everything like this. What has Hunter Luepke shown to earn a 53 spot?
You're right.
That's and like he's some magical unicorn that won't make the practice squad.
Yeah, I don't know. You
He
keep
played.
talking,
He
Mike.
played.
If I,
Yeah. Yeah.
you keep talking. If I'm gonna try to clear
All
up
right.
my picture, okay? You keep talking.
All right. So he played 13% of the offensive snaps last year. I know he does a lot of special teams, but when it gets to the fact you're carrying Dalvin Cook, Zeke, Deuce, Hunter, Dowdle. How between those 5 guys is anybody gonna you're back to is anybody gonna get any meaningful burn between those 5 running backs? And you're still thick at tight end because once again, I'm actually spitballing this in real time. He may be It may be another McCarthy thing because McCarthy wanted Hunter, McCarthy wanted Schoon. They're both on the roster still. One because one's a second round pick. He's going to get the benefit of the doubt, whether I agree with it or not. All across the league, that's happening on many teams where there's a second round pick that's making the roster yet again because he's a second round pick. So that is what it is. But when you have this coach those are the 2 picks he stood on the table for. Those are the guys he wanted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They make the roster over a guy like Wood or damn it, I just blanked on it. The DT,
Carl Rogers,
yes, Rogers, over a guy like
and we
Rogers
lost him to Cincinnati.
or Ty Bill who would play special teams. And these dudes are taking up a premium spot. When I say premium spot, running back and tight end, that's a skill position, man. You need
Mm-hmm.
juice there, and
Mm-hmm.
you have this conglomeration of running backs. I'm going to spin into that outside of the McCarthy thing. Of it's like they heard, oh, running back doesn't matter. Like John Parks in there trying to tell Jerry and Steven that running back doesn't matter. It's like, all right, well, we'll go get some guys that used to be guys. No, that's not what that means. You go get some guys who haven't been guys yet. You go find this 23-year-old out of the UFL and who runs a damn 4.4, and you put him in your backfield and you let it work. Not a 29-year-old. Dude, Zeke's got like 15,000 touches or something. And there's nobody, and that leads you to the point where they're not going to cut Zeke. They weren't making him practice or anything, and that we already know that. Okay, cool, whatever. Every team probably has one of those guys. Well, you can't do Dalvin Cook too. You can't do both. And I know Dalvin Cook is quote unquote on the practice squad, but he's only on the practice squad because they don't have a seat. They're keeping CeeDee Lamb on the did not report list, so it gives them a little bit of more time to figure out the 53. Somebody's going to be gone when CD comes up, and it better not be Deuce, and it better be Hunter. If we're going to take somebody out of this roster, down this back in, have either one of those two dudes done to be on the 53, much less the 46, which is the game,
Right.
the game day roster.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Hunter. I love the prospect, but at a certain point, it's like how I felt about Noah Brown. At a certain point, it's like, fuck, I got to give up, man. But I know it's only been 1 year, so that's probably a bad comparison. But I feel about them the same. I really thought they could bring something and this, that, and the other. But when it comes time, when it's nut cutting time, as we say out here in the country, when it's nut cutting time, and you got a guy that hasn't brought you anything, and you're cutting a guy who had promise, who immediately got snatched off of waivers. That's why everybody's salty about it. It feels like Ridgeway all over again. It feels like Terrence Mitchell all over again, where we let
Isaiah
this
Land.
guy, Isaiah Land. It feels like, it's like we don't, people say, oh, everybody says that about certain players, yada, yada. But I've seen it happen. When you've seen it happen time and time and time and time again, where there's a guy at the back of the roster, it's like, that kid could play. I watched every fucking minute of those preseason games. Your boy could play. Woods could play. And somebody else saw that too.
Immediately saw it.
I didn't see a damn thing out of Schoon or Hunter to get them a roster spot going into this season. Not one play.
I mean, let's keep it real though, Mike. Let's keep it real, Mike. John Stevens made it from last year. He didn't really have no great camp. He didn't blow up in this camp. He just made it. He got the nod. He's got a sponsor.
Anderson, John Stevens Anderson Jr. Sly the third. And I'm the deviant to sit there and watch every damn minute of these games. And if those kids made a play, if Hunter Luepke made a play, it would be on my timeline because I'm one of his biggest fans. I'm probably the only damn sponsor he's got left in Dallas. Nothing, dude. So if you can't do it in the preseason against these 3s and 4s, bro's not even making the team. Like you didn't even get a highlight chip block on a RPO or something, and it's frustrating. And there's also, we can spin this into that. I've always said, for better and for worse, this is one of those cases where it's going to be worse. Dallas Cowboys have empowered their coaches. Not too much, but when it comes to players, like personnel. Okay, my coach wants this guy, you're seeing it with Zim. Now I know Zim's got history here, but they did it with DQ and they just ran held damn near every player he picked up's out of town by now. So they empower their coaches, and this is the downside of that, and that's maybe why Green Bay didn't let Mike McCarthy have a damn say in personnel for 20 years.
Maybe. I mean, that definitely it for real. And that maybe that's why he was out. But, we don't know if he makes the greatest personnel decisions too, right, Mike? Because if you think about it, that Schoonmaker pick is sticking out like a sore thumb right now, Mike, for real. Like, that's a bad pick. I don't care how much they want to spin it, how much they want to do it. That's a terrible pick. And the fact that he's going to stay on the roster at least another couple more years because of his draft status. And also, Matt Willetsko, I'm going to say that man has not touched the field in 4 freaking years, damn near. And he makes he's one of the 10 players that make it on the offensive line. And he did nothing in the preseason, but look the same he did his rookie year. But he's got a sponsor in Stephen Jones, so therefore he's going to make it. That's the BS, bro.
C.J. Goodwin. Leave C.J. Goodwin alone. They're going to cut him. He'll be back. That's what. See, you need to catch up on Cowboys history. C.J. Goodwin is a con. It'll be the year 2098, and we'll be in the World War V, and C.J. Goodwin will be getting cut and picked back up by the Dallas Cowboys. That's just what he does. And
It's
you
just my
can't say
thing. Look, I didn't mean to cut
I,
you off, Mike. It's just my frustrating thing is this. I get it. I am biased. That's my boy. I've been there since Little League. I might be a little biased
no,
with
talk
it,
your shit.
but at the end of the day, he did everything the right way. He went into
Mhm.
camp. He was getting interceptions in camp. We were hearing time and time again. Woods with another interception. Woods returns it for an interception. Then you go into the real game and you get 2 picks and damn 9 tackles in 3 games. You did everything you were supposed to do, but yet these draft picks that these guys pick and they don't ever want to look like bad. That's why Trey Lance is still on the rock. They don't ever want to look like they dropped the ball or messed up. That's why Matt Willetsko, even damn Josh Ball outplayed Matt Willetsko. You feel me? And he got cut. And Matt Willetsko made the active 53-man roster. What the F did Matt Willetsko do? He is not good. You're saying that he is your swing? Because y'all been kicking a Sim Richards on the inside. So if he was going outside, you're playing Matt Willetsko. Man, please.
Sidebar there. I don't think Let's Go makes the. I don't know if this hurts or helps your cause here, but I don't think Maletzko makes it to week 1. I don't think he
And,
makes it to week 1. And the reason I say that is Josh Ball is toxic for some teams for reasons that
mhm,
you know
we
they
know.
are what they are,
Mhm.
and it's terrible. Um, Let's Go. If they were to send him to the cut line, he would more than likely get picked up.
He
Now
would
they
or
have a
wouldn't.
guy. He probably would because that's how thin the offensive line is across the league. Now you have a placeholder sitting on your 53, right? And if they need to bring up Lamb or they want to go get a DT or they need to make a move real quick, that guy can Thanos snap because Josh Ball's on your practice squad. He made it back, right? So that's handled. He played better. He played better. Now this is also kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt, but I talked to somebody about this, and this is the way it was explained to me. So do I agree with the whole way everything happened? Hell no, I don't. But when it comes to your boy, are we going to carry 8 safeties? And I know I would have sent Cedric Wilson packing personally. So I don't think the dude's going to stay healthy. He's career hurt guy. But are we going to go that deep at safety? That's almost
I
like
mean,
when
but
they
they,
were going to carry
but
Stingley.
here, but here's the thing with this, though. I want to throw this out to you too, Mike. I talked about Mukamo. I ain't hating on Israel Mukamo. Not hating on him at all. But this is his
Fine.
last year. This is his
Yeah.
last year. Okay. Next year he's going to be looking for a deal. He's not going to get a deal in Dallas. He's not going to get a deal in Dallas at all because he ain't did nothing. He's going to look for some money, or they're going to lowball him. So he's not even going to be there. So my thing is, why don't you just drop him down the corner? And if you keep a 5-5 safety, Woods, because at the day he has everything you want. Dono ain't gonna be here forever. I'll be surprised if he had last 2 years in here. Hooker too. You got Wanye and Marquise Bell on cheap contracts. Why wouldn't you bring in Woods, who's on a cheap deal too, where you can player control him for 4 years and Mukambo's gone?
They and they may already know by now that they had goofed. There's also that. I mean, these teams goof all the damn time. It just sucks that when I sit there and I watch every damn rep of these preseason games and I watch somebody playing, and I'm not trying to have grandiose dreams of whatever player that is, besides when it was Dak in the preseason. That's totally different. That's quarterback. That's a whole different thing. When I watch a player down in and down out, play clean, play sound football at the highest level, and he's a UDFA. I mean, if he's UDFA, obviously, but I don't care if he's a first round pick. It's like, okay, we got something there. But then when you see it out of a UDFA or a day three guy, which is kind of the same thing in my books, it's you're like, okay, how can I keep that dude here? Because I see these other dudes
Right.
who are above him not playing as well, and
No.
sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Well, I wish him the best. I wish you the best, Julius. If you see and look at you over at Tennessee, you'll see Dallas in 2 years. If you over there with Tennessee rocking, I hope you come over here and kick Dallas's ass. I ain't gonna lie. Hope you come over here and just wreck shop, destroy, blow up, do everything. I don't care. That's the game. I don't want you Titans, if you still on that squad, to turn up and kick ass. Because I already talked to his pops, and his pops said he was sick as hell, and he said, guess what? He said the whole league gonna remember this because he took
I
that.
think we'll be
He already
back.
told me he was going. Yeah, so it is what it is. Salutes to you, Julius. You did everything you're supposed to do, but hey, it is what it is. So we just gonna move on from it.
Hey,
Now,
if he ends up seeing this, he had a fan in me. So
yeah. Well, I know I had a lot of fans on it. Like I said, me and his dad was talking almost every day about it. So he's in good spirits. He's gonna handle his business, and he said, "Check me out in about a few years. I'm gonna be in the Pro Bowl." So I love his lofty expectations and thoughts. So go out there and kill it, because every level you went to, you've turned up and proved people wrong. So this is just another level to do it. But let's talk about this CeeDee Lamb thing, okay? Um, how you feel about it?
it's a good deal for everybody involved. The contract, the way it's structured, is all kinds of bonus years and uh, void years, and you know, as we know, anybody that's known me, I don't get too deep into cap stuff because I end up embarrassing myself. I don't talk about
Mm-hmm.
stuff I do not know, but I could
Right.
see, you know, I could see a contract in the way it's laid out, and you see that guaranteed money, and you see how they got him a $40 million signing bonus that keeps the cap number down, little basics like
Mm-hmm.
that. And
Mm-hmm.
he got his guarantee, and Dallas won on the deal with getting the 4 years and getting because that's a big sticking point. That's the sticking point once again in the debt negotiations because they want 4 years, but they don't want to adjust that guaranteed money, which is the same thing we talked about last time we got a contract, which is the same thing we talked about with the CeeDee Lamb contract, which is the same thing we talked about with the DeMarcus Lawrence contract, and the same thing we talked about with the Zach Martin contract, both of them, and the same thing we talked about with the Trayvon Diggs contract. But that came out, we didn't think that was going to get done, and it just popped up out of nowhere.
Right.
So what
Right.
they did do with this CeeDee Lamb deal is they moved a lot of money out of 2024. They have the money the way I understand it is they could do a lot of Dak's signing bonus on this year because the money they saved and keep them out of such a bind when it comes up because you got Tyler Smith and Micah Parsons next year. And I guarantee you Micah Parsons is not going to play
Oh, he ain't playing.
another another rep, another rep of football without his money. He's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to happen.
He holding out.
And
Yeah, he ain't
when
coming.
you hear I seen a quote, I intentionally didn't listen to it, but I seen a quote from Jerry. He's like, we got CD paid. You know, Dak Prescott's here. It's like, you think Micah didn't hear that? Like, okay, got you, bud. As soon as, hey, whatever it is, January 3rd, 17th, February 9th, whatever the case may be, as soon as that last snap's played, y'all won't be seeing me again. We already know that's going to happen. So um, it gives them flexibility on that front. And as I've talked about for months and months and months, and CeeDee Lamb's quotes kind of, basically said it out loud. If you've seen the quotes from camp last night, these two deals between 88 and 4 were tied at the hip. 88 wasn't going to sign to catch passes from whoever. Dak Prescott was more, and still is, by the way, more than willing to let it ride. Because short of him getting both his legs cut off, he's going to get, 65, 68, $69 million. But, by the time that deadline comes around. So now you have the 2024 money opened up. Dak willing to let it ride. I don't think it'll happen. I'm willing. Yeah, he throws. I don't want to burn this. I'm just kind of. I had a point, and I don't want to say it without him on here, but I don't want to sit here and let y'all just free will. Shit. Let you go, Bubba. He came right back in last time. Kadarius Toney, one bad season. Kadarius Toney's never had a good season. He's awful, and he's an idiot. You can't be both. If you're going to be an idiot, you got to be good. You can't do both. Tyreek Hill, idiot. Also very good. Perfect example. Where did you go, Bubba? Well, shit. There he is. I think. Maybe.